profits are going pretty well. I'm on basically £1 profit so far. I encourage people to get into business. I want us to work together to better ourselves. I don't have this mentality of I'm hogging all this for myself and how dare you get into my space and stuff. It's like, I encourage you guys, copy what I've done. Hello and welcome to another driving vlog. My name's Simon. I'm a six-figure, really close to seven-figure Amazon seller in the UK, and I do these sort of weekly vlog videos where I talk about my Amazon business and business in general, what's going on with Amazon, all that kind of stuff. So welcome to all my existing and new viewers. I do appreciate you guys joining me. I really do appreciate it, honestly. Yeah, so what's been going on in the world of Amazon for me anyway? So profits are going pretty well. I'm on just shy. I'm on like £5,990, something like that. I'm basically on £6,000 profit so far. We're on the 17th today. So, you know, on track to hit my sort of £10,000 that I'd like to make, you know, which is good, but given the amount of stock I've got on Amazon and, you know, the fact it's November, that's a little bit meh. You know, I was hoping to maybe make 15 or something like that, but, you know, never know. I've got some really good stock in and, you know, I'm just holding, I mean, I'm reviewing my prices and I'm going, oh, you know, I can't just sell this too cheap because I know the price is going to go up in December, so, but yeah, or late November, so I've got some really good stock waiting in the wings, and we'll reevaluate maybe around December time, and I'm going to go on to this actually in a bit, talk about like how do you price your items. Someone asked me, you know, how do you price your items, and we'll talk about that a little bit, because obviously the strategy changes depending on various different factors. So going to the new, sort of news on Amazon, the YouMove saga is still ongoing. For those of you that don't know, the whole YouMove thing is like Amazon allowed some fake sellers to sell, fake YouMove. It's like a dog supplement thing, and Amazon ended up refunding everyone, and we're all still being hit with this sort of like, not Section 3, but, you know, authenticity claims and, you know, things like that. And Amazon asked everyone for all their documents to review, you know, invoices, things like that, which were obviously all submitted. And Amazon being Amazon have responded sometimes to some people saying, you know, this is the wrong email to respond to, even though they said respond to that email. Some people have just had rejections saying, hey, this is not a real invoice, it's an Amazon invoice, just to point out as well. Other people like me have just basically had like a generic response saying, thank you, we're reviewing your account. So yeah, all that kind of fun stuff still ongoing. I saw one poor sod got hit with a Section 3, which means account suspension until that gets resolved, so he may miss Christmas. If that happens to me, I will be very upset. But yeah, so that saga is still ongoing. I guess that's just the part of doing with Amazon, basically. It's a real pain in the butt. Anyway, so, but yeah, month's going pretty well. So yeah, so someone asked me, yeah, how do I price my items? How do I set my low? How do I set my high? You know, I'm a big fan, and by the way, this whole video is sponsored by Profitex Pro, which is the best Amazon FBA repricer for any Amazon seller out there. It's the one that I use, it's the one I recommend to anyone who asks me, what repricer should I use? And it really is the best repricer, in my opinion. So, thanks for Profitex Pro for sponsoring this video, and yeah, we're going to talk about, you know, in Profitex Pro, you set your min and your max price, and then you let Profitex Pro do the rest in between. So how do you set your prices? It's a tricky one, to be honest, and one that I've been learning to sort of change my strategy over time. So I come from the world of online arbitrage, and in online arbitrage, you tend, and Amazon to Amazon as well, you tend to only get a certain number of items. So unless you find a fantastic website where they don't care about order limits, you know, you tend to limit it to maybe say 10 units, maybe 20. If you're very lucky, you can get maybe up to 30, 50, depending on what it is, basically. When you're doing Amazon to Amazon, generally you're limited to 3 or 4 units per account, and you can use 3 accounts, so you've normally got somewhere between sort of 9 and 12 units. I was always of the opinion, and given that I've got a decent amount of capital, that I always wanted to maximize my profits on these items. So I was willing to wait, you know, 3 months, sometimes 6 months, to wait for that sort of peak price, because I've only got so many units and I'm not willing to brick the price and, you know, take a couple of quid profit. Now, there are different arguments here on whether you want to just sell through or get the money back to reinvest it, but generally, and I don't want to sound arrogant here, money was never really a restriction for me. So for me, I was always willing to, you know, say hold out for that best price. So it's finding sometimes, you know, kind of strategy within around that, basically. if you're doing Amazon to Amazon, if you're doing OA, and if you've only got a certain number of units, or it doesn't matter how you get it, if you've only got a certain number of units, and you know that, let's say you're buying something for £20, you can sell it for £60. £60 pretty much is like what it normally goes for, you know, pretty much. And then suddenly everyone jumps onto this and the price maybe drops down to £45. Now you might be making a small profit of £45, but you know, once everyone sells out, this thing's going back to 60 quid. You know, obviously it all then depends on sales velocity of the item. If it only sells 10 a month, then I would get rid of it. I wouldn't get into it in the first place, to be honest. If this is a fast selling item, I'm definitely more willing to wait for that kind of peak price. So on items like that, I'm definitely setting my sort of minimum price to pretty much like maybe 30% ROI, and then my sort of max price is going to be, you know, that kind of like peak price. But maybe my minimum might be even higher. I might be weighing on this like one that is £60. I might be saying to myself, you know what, £55 is what I'm weighing for. You know, it probably will go to 60. 55 might be a good sort of middle ground, and I'm going to be happy to take 55. So maybe I'll put my min to 55, my max to 60, something like that. I want to maximise my profit per item. Now, this is only good if you've got like a decent amount of capital and you're willing to wait on this stock. And the first sort of 3 months, I guess, if your average wait time for items to come back, you know, to their best price is 3 months, then you're going to have that sort of 3 months of pain period. But then obviously any items that you've had for 3 months will start selling, then any new items you're buying will be a 3 month wait. So once you got past that first sort of 3 months initial stages of waiting, then you'll be golden and you're just having stock churning basically, and you'll be building up your inventory. So that is one strategy, which again, pretty much what I use up until about maybe 2 or 3 months ago. However, as you guys know, I have recently been getting into wholesale, and it's been through a website called Cogita. Link for Cogita in the description if you want to get £120 off your first order, which is insane. So, and obviously you can, if you're signing up for the first time, you want to make your first order, you can DM me and I will help you find your first order as well. So with Cogita and it being wholesale, things are changing up a little bit differently. I've somehow come across essentially 2 different scenarios that have come and happened to me now. Well, not scenarios, but 2 new things have happened to me. One is that my capital is running out. I'm able to spend my money much faster, and I'm able to basically spend it all, which is really nice. So, just letting that motorcyclist overtake. You know, running out of money, and actually, guys, I was going to say I made a mistake this month. I guess I did in a way, because I should never have allowed it. Well, I don't know. I thought everything was fine with it, but this month, I mean, I spent £50,000 in one day on Cogita. My Amex bill got to £102,000. American Express basically began panicking and suspended my account and said, no more spending, that's it. You've got to pay off your balance before we reactivate your card. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm only, you know, on that 102,000, 25,000 was due by the 23rd of November, and the rest will be due by the 23rd of December. So I am now paying off, you know, and I pretty much run my Amex pretty lean, so I'm going to be paying off my sort of £25,000 by the 23rd. I've paid off 20,000 of it already. 5,000 will be paid off by Monday, that last 5,000, so that will be paid off early as well. You know, 5 days early, 6 days early. But yeah, I'll have that sort of remaining balance on there around what, £75,000. And but yeah, they suspended my account, which was really annoying. And also, what I didn't realise as well, and sorry for the tangent here, because I've got a personal card and I've got a business card, they're linked. They're both on kind of the same account, I guess, even though you kind of switch through them on Amex. You know, they've suspended the entire account essentially, including my personal card, which is insane. And then I got an email yesterday saying, hey, we've made the business decision to reduce your credit limit on your personal card to £800. I'm like, so I'm going to call them on Monday anyway, because £800 is freaking useless to me, even on a personal account, really. So yeah, not happy with Amex right now at all. If you're going to have a limit, just tell me what the limit is and I won't go above it. Simple as that. But they don't give you a limit on a charge card. They just say, oh, we'll let you know. And then when it's like, you know, it's just ridiculous anyway. So they're not very happy with me. They're panicking for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, anyway, it is what it is. So with Cogita, I have so many deals to buy that I've been able to spend $102,000 in a month, basically. Or just over a month, 5 weeks or whatever it is. You know, I've now got a lot of stock, and I've got I'm running out of money as well. And yeah, the second thing as well, I guess, having gone off on that tangent, is The two sort of new things that have happened to me is, one, I'm running out of money. I literally am running out of money in terms of like buying stock. So I've got no more money to buy stock. And two, I'm able to buy things in high volumes. So, which is another new kind of thing that's happened, you know, versus like buying 10 units on like OA, I'm able to buy hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of units. So with these two things now in mind, one, that my capital is restrained and I want to kind of get that money back out ASAP to reinvest it. And two, that I've got a lot of units as well on a listing. I need to start repricing my items differently now. So I'm no longer with, say, 500 units of some whatever I'm selling, looking to make that maximum price per unit. So I'm not sitting on 500 units for 3-6 months waiting to make that maximum profit. Yeah, so I am now repricing my items with the wholesale much differently. I'm willing to kind of churn through that stock and, you know, ideally I'm looking to make that 20-30% ROI, but realistically I'm setting my min price down to maybe 10% ROI, and it depends when the stock goes in, and I'm selling kind of into the market, if that makes sense. Now, I'm not killing the price, but what I'm saying is if other people bring the price down, I'm still going to be matching them and trying to sell through my stock, and hopefully I get my stock in early and I'm able to sell maybe 100 units of those 500 at 30%, you know, and then the price goes down to maybe 25% ROI, then I sell another 50 units, then it goes down to 20% ROI and sell another 100 units, and then, you know, it goes down to 15% ROI, I've got another 50 units, whatever. So you can see I'm selling into the market, and my profit I'm making per unit is changing constantly, essentially, as I'm selling. And I probably set, my min to maybe around 10%, maybe even 0%, and basically say, well, you know, we're hoping to, like I say, maybe sell, if we've got 500 units, maybe I'm selling, like I said, 100 at 30, 100 at 25, 100 at 20, maybe 50 at 15, and then maybe those final 50 units might end up selling for break even, you know, but I've made money on the first 450. Now, obviously that's kind of like I guess not a worst case scenario, but pretty much a worst case scenario of where, you know, where basically the price has gone down to 0% ROI. Now, hopefully that obviously won't happen, you know, but that I'm just kind of being realistic there, that could happen. And obviously if it goes down to negative, I don't know, I'll have to make a decision there, how many units I've got left, how much I've made from the total, you know. And again, on this as well, I'm now thinking more about how much have I made on this like order. So if I've ordered 500 units, I'm not looking at necessarily on a per unit profit basis. I'm now thinking about, well, you know, on this entire order, yeah, I was able to make a profit on 400 units, 50 units or so for break even, 50 units maybe I lost 20-30p on them, but as an overall order maybe I made £1,000, let's say, for example. So I'm very happy with that, you know, and I've also churned my stock very quickly and I've got my money back, which I can now reinvest. So that's the kind of things I'm now thinking about when it comes to wholesale. So yeah, kind of a new interesting way of thinking of things. So yeah, I'm trying to get that money back and trying to get it reinvested, because there's more deals. There's so many deals on Quagita now, and it's kind of insane, and there's always more deals. So yeah, the faster I can get that money back, the better. What's going on with the A1? I hope there's not an accident. And we're back, guys. God, that was a nightmare trying to get on the diversion there, but fortunately I just managed to sort it out. It looks like I made the right decision because there's literally no traffic behind me. So yeah, that A1 is totally shut. There's nothing behind me. Oh, there is now. No, maybe that. Right, so not sure where exactly I was talking about. Actually, just while I was sat in traffic. So someone messaged me today saying, hey, you know, I'm going to be posting my experiences doing like property development and things like that on YouTube, and doing like a car vlog and things like that. So that's really awesome to see. I'll be looking forward to seeing that coming out on YouTube. And I do encourage everyone to say, do what I'm doing if you want. Copy what I'm doing if you're inclined to do so. And do sort of social media, videos, tweets, whatever you want, really. Anyway, yeah, hopefully with that pricing thing, we've kind of answered that question there. You can see how strategies change depending on your capital, depending on obviously the sales per month on a listing, depending on how many units you've got, depending on all these different various factors, how many sellers are on the listing, etc., what the price is doing. So there's no like easy way to really like determine the exact, I guess, method for every single listing, but you kind of, this is where experience comes in. and you're going to learn from experience. Yeah, this is what, when you're young, you think you know everything, and if someone older comes along and says, you've got no life experience, you've got no experience, you're like, it's fine. But it really does make a difference on anything you do, really. But yeah, so trying to think, what are my goals for next year? Let's talk about those, really. Because I'm very conflicted, I'm not going to lie. I love doing the social media side. I love running my Discord community. I love the whole business side of essentially doing like the affiliate marketing thing, helping people on Amazon, doing my Discord, doing the YouTube, trying to expand that. I do love that. At the same time, I also love doing just the Amazon FBA. Sometimes anyway, sometimes it does my head in. Sometimes I feel like, hey, it's better to focus on one thing. And, I'm like, well, should I just cut off the FBA? But then I'm like, well, I need to know FBA to stay in the loop. And obviously it brings good money in as well. So I think next year I think I'm going to, especially this U-Move thing, I bet you basically got about £220,000 sort of invested in Amazon right now. I've got £142,000 of stock in Amazon. I've got a good 50 and 70,000 sort of either on the way to a prep centre, in a prep, or basically on its way, so it should be going in. So that puts me around about 200,000. Let's just call it 200,000. That's and you see with all this U-Move stuff and Section 3s and things, that does worry me a little bit, and thinks to me, maybe I'm now thinking to myself, rather than this constant growth that I've been on for the past 2.5 years, and I've obviously started with 30,000 and I've got 200 and something thousand, maybe there's a limit that I'm going to be willing to have invested in Amazon and just be happy with what I can make with that amount of money. So I need to make a decision on what that amount of money is going to be. It might be that I'm going to stick to £100,000 and just say, hey, my working capital for Amazon FBA is going to be £100,000. Any more than that, I'm just going to pull it straight out and just kind of limit my exposure and my risk on Amazon to £100,000. Maybe it'll be 150, or maybe I will slowly grow it over time. But maybe I'll do like a maybe a 50-50 approach where, if I make, let's say I've got £100,000, I make £20,000 profit. Maybe I'll keep 10 in the business and pull 10 out for other things, salary or whatever. So, and then grow, but grow more slowly, where I guess my net worth is going up personally. It's all about like what percentage of my net worth do I want in Amazon. That's the thing, really. So if my net worth is like £5 million, which is not, it's much more. No, I wish it was more than that. I'd be willing to go. Well, maybe I'm willing to invest £500,000 in Amazon. If my net worth is £1 million, maybe I'm saying, well, I'm willing to do £100,000. These are just hypothetical figures, by the way. So, I just need to decide where my risk tolerance is going to be on this one, really. Yeah, that's something I'm going to be thinking about more. Now, this is also tricky as well, because I'm doing more wholesale, and that's, again, another thing for next year, is I'm thinking about getting more into wholesale. I'm going to be going more wholesale, which does require a bit more money. So it's a very interesting thing. I need to decide really what my game plan is going to be for next year. I mean, right now I'm just focusing on Q4, getting through Q4. But yeah, next year I really do need to think about what I'm going to be doing in terms of FBA, and then also my Discord community and YouTube channel, because that is where I really want to focus most of my energies now, which again comes back to the whole thing of maybe I'll just limit myself to £100,000 in Amazon FBA, and whatever effort and time that takes me, hopefully not too much, I can put into Amazon FBA, and then I can focus the rest of my effort on doing my Discord community, because I've got so many plans and things I want to do within the sort of social media and education side. Like I want to make that beginner's course or that beginner's intermediate course. I really want to do that. Obviously, when I learn wholesale, I'd like to do a course around wholesale. I'd like to do courses around all the different sourcing methods. So I want to make all these different videos and courses on these things. Yeah, so that's kind of one of my goals I want to do. With the social media side, I want to get like a blog going as well. So not only do I want to write not only do I want to do like a video course and say how to get into Amazon FBA, I want to obviously write it out as well in a blog. I'm going to have the Arbitrage University Discord community, which I also own. As well as FBA Moguls, as going to be the main Discord community where people do their, who are beginners and want to do, say, my course. That's going to be, I think, the primary hub. I'm torn really on what I want to do in terms of that, whether I want to keep everything in one Discord community, FBA Moguls, or do have it split, and FBA Moguls will be more of the community, and it still has some resource in there, but it's more about community. And then Arbitrage University is more about, hey, support for the course that you're doing, and all the new people go into there. They're obviously welcome to go into FBA Moguls as well, but they go into there and they basically, that's where they get all the support, and then all the new people can kind of hang out together, help each other through the different lessons and things like that on Amazon FBA. So that's kind of like what I'm thinking there, really. I've just got big plans, big plans. It's just obviously finding the time and the focus and things like that on to do these things. So, as well as like doing FBA and things like that. So, yeah, it's big plans next year. I need to just really focus on getting certain things done. And I keep saying this, you guys are probably absolutely sick of this, but I really do need to get this course done. Once Q4 is done, that is going to be my main focus, and I think I'm going to get Q4 out the way. Although at the moment I'm pretty much done from buying now. I mean, my Amex is maxed. I do have some capital on tap. I could use about 30k there, but I'm pretty much kind of done on the buying now. So, and obviously we're getting a little bit, there's still opportunity to buy now for Q4, absolutely. But getting to that point where it's like there's a cut-off period, especially with wholesale, because obviously it takes a little bit longer lead time to turn up. Depends what country you're buying from, things like that. But so maybe I'll try and get some of this course done before Christmas. Maybe it'll be more a focus for January, although I'm going to Dubai and January 6th, so for a month. So that's going to be taking up my time, and maybe I'll film it out there. I don't know. But that doesn't really, it's not really conducive to that. So now that I think more about this, actually, I might go hardcore actually for the rest of this year, and maybe over Christmas period, and really focus on making that course and get it released in time for me to go to Dubai, actually. That's what I'm actually going to think now. This is why I also love doing these vlog things, because it just gives me time to think and sort of strategize and plan and things like that. So, do you know where my favourite place is to just think? And that is in the bath. Run a nice hot bath, sit in there. I've got a notepad and a pen, and I just like to just sit there relaxed and just think and plan and strategize, write some notes down, and I come up with some of my best ideas actually in those kind of times. But yeah, so that, anyway, I think now actually, I was going to cut off myself from work from about the 18th of December, take all of Christmas off and relax. But now I'm thinking I might spend that time working. Obviously I'm going to go for Christmas, Boxing Day, things like that, take those few days off. But yeah, I really want to get this course done actually now, and then my time off will be, I'll take some time off and I go to Dubai, relax for a week or two there, do kind of nothing, and then get back to it. So I think that's what I'll do really. It's when you work for yourself, there's so many opportunities, you kind of just want to work all the time. But I do feel like I need a little bit of a break at the moment. Yeah, just because I've been a bit fatigued recently with some stuff that's been going on in all the Discord communities, and yeah, the FBA community can be quite childish at times and quite, I don't know, not you guys, but between the owners of the groups, let's put it like that. Yeah, the owners of the groups. So, one of the owners recently just called me like a liar, which I'm not very happy. He said, cap on something I was saying. I was like, I had to Google what that meant. Not down with the lingo about something, and it's just like, oh god, this is all so childish. Good lord, I don't know. Anyway, so I try to run everything honest as possible, and when people call me a liar or say I'm being underhanded or whatever, it really irks me, because I'm trying to be as professional as possible. I am professional. I think of Amazon FBA and my business around Discord, I'm trying to be as professional as possible. I'm not into all this petty BS and backstabbing, and it just does my head in, to be honest. So that does fatigue me a little bit. I was saying to my younger brother, man, I'm so sick of this. I'm just trying to run a legit business. I think there's a mentality actually with a lot of these group owners out there that it's like only I can win, and if I win you lose, and it's just not like that. We're all working we should all be working together, and it shouldn't be it's not like a zero-sum game, or I don't know, game theory is a bit rusty here. It's not like you win, I lose. Everyone can win, So I don't know, it does my head in really. You guys know I had that big issue with Mental Picks owner where he kicked me out of the group and stuff, and yeah, I don't know, I mean, not spoken to that guy in ages anyway. It's not about that, but just like that kind of stuff, it just really irks me, because I'm like, I'm a nice guy. I don't want to get on anyone's bad side. That's one thing that really upsets me actually, when people don't like me. Now I realise not everyone is going to like me, fine, but I'm not going to do anything to make someone dislike me, or hope not anyway. It's certainly not in my plans. So that really does irritate me and just irks me and upsets me as well, to be honest, because like I want to just get on with everyone. I think everyone, hopefully people, you guys realise from my vlogs and stuff that I encourage people to get into business. I want us to work together to better ourselves. I don't have this mentality of I'm hogging all this for myself and how dare you get into my space and stuff. It's like, I encourage you guys, copy what I've done, make a Discord community. In fact, I know a couple of guys that have done it already. I'm like, encourage them to do it. Are they competitors? Technically, yes. Do I care? No. Because we can all just work together. So yeah, I really do hate this. And if the owner of this group, that I'm talking about knows, the one who, said cap to me, well, you know who you are. I don't know why you don't like me, but yeah, I don't know. Just anyway. You can't get everyone to like you. But yeah, I'm just trying to be legit and just run this business, and I think everyone can work together. So and succeed. Anyway, so going back to the old plans of next year. So wholesale's one, focusing more on wholesale. I'm still going to do OA, absolutely, just not to the same scale. Still do Amazon to Amazon for like profit sweep and stuff. Link for that in the description, by the way, if they join any of these groups that I mentioned, things like that. So yeah, that's obviously a big thing as well. Discord community, I want to get that course made as well. My goal essentially is to become more of a presence online, help more people get into Amazon. Basically, I want to become like a powerhouse in the FBA world, I suppose. That's kind of like what I really want. I want my Discord community to be enormous. I want loads of people to be getting into Amazon FBA. I want everyone to be succeeding and making money. I just want everyone to win, basically. I guess. But yeah, so I guess actually going back to that just previous point quickly, FBA is a very secretive community. It was very secretive when I got into it. Very few people willing to help. Because again, it's that mentality of like, well, if you are successful, then I'm not successful. It's like, well, it's not like that. There's opportunity for everyone. And that is what I am changing. I'm trying to change. I am trying to get as many people in as possible, because I think there's room for everyone. Now, will we hit a saturation point in Amazon FBA? Maybe, but it won't be for a very long time. And Amazon's growing probably faster than the people coming in to sell. So it's a weird mentality that happens inside of the old school mentality of Amazon FBA, and I'm trying to freshen things up a little bit. Essentially, what I'm trying to do, actually, now I think about it, if I can boil this down to one thing, I'm trying to professionalize the Amazon sort of FBA community. That's kind of my goal, I suppose. And actually, that's why my community is fantastic. So anyone who's an FBA moguls, it's a very mature, helpful, and a really welcoming community, and that is something I'm so happy with. It's not like a childish community at all. It's not everyone's ready to help people. No one's like sarcastic or anything like that. It's fantastic, and I hope it continues to go down that kind of route, I suppose. Hopefully I'll keep nurturing that in that kind of spirit and mentality in that group. But I think that essentially, having thought this all through and articulated what I've said, essentially, yes, I'm trying to just professionalize the FBA community a little bit in terms of like how the education happens and things like that. So that's my goal, I suppose. But yeah, trying to think what else really for goals for next year. And obviously money wise, I'm obviously looking to make a decent amount of money. So this year, I'll do like a money reveal probably towards the end of the year, how much I've made, from FBA and other things. Because it's very difficult to give a figure right now, because I need to obviously factor in, I'm very good at writing down what my like gross profit is, which is a profit way before, or before your expenses and stuff. Not so good at keeping track of my net profit with all my expenses and stuff. So I need to write that down and just see where I am. But it's a good 6 figures, to be honest. It's been pretty good overall. I can't complain. And it's been pretty good, and hopefully it's onwards and upwards really. The past sort of 4 months have been insane for me. I've been doing, big numbers, and been very happy with it, really, and how it's been going. So it's just whether I can continue that as we go forward. But yeah, it's fantastic. And one thing I've pretty much, I'm not guaranteeing, crossing my heart, I hope to die here, but I've pretty much said to myself, I'm not going to do paid mentorship. I'm like 90% decided on this one. I am leaving money on the table, 100%, because I get asked all the time, will I do mentorship? And I just keep saying no, or paid mentorship, I just keep saying no. I don't know, I just like the free model and just helping people for free. Now, obviously I can't dedicate a huge amount of time to everyone doing it for free, if that makes sense. But I need to think about how I can, because okay, let's just talk about this here. So one of the things I was thinking about, because I get asked all the time, is will I do mentorship? Will I do paid mentorship? I've done a few little bits in the past where I charged like £100 an hour. I did like blocks of 3 or 4 hours, things like that. There was no real organisation to it, or kind of like, curriculum or anything like that. It was just like, hey, how can I help you? All this kind of stuff, answer questions, things like that. And I thought about doing a course for like £3,000, not course, a mentorship program. And basically it'd be like, well, I'm gonna help you for you get X number of lessons over 12 months. There'll be a curriculum, there'll be more lessons at the beginning, and then they'll obviously as time goes on, there'll be like once a month just to fine tune things like see how things are going, helping it with any problems and stuff. Obviously be there on Discord, things like that. That was what I was thinking. I was thinking of doing that, say for £3,000, and obviously if it becomes too popular, you can put the price up, because obviously you can't, I've only got so many hours in the day. So that's what I was thinking. It's a huge responsibility though, for me to do that. I then feel like I've got a lot of pressure on my shoulders if I do take that on, because if someone's paying me £3,000 or whatever they pay, that's a lot of money. They put a lot of faith in me, and that's a lot of pressure on me, and not sure I like that. I'm not gonna lie. So I like being my own business. I like the freedom I have from business and everything that comes with it, and the ability to choose and things like that, and being my own boss. And it feels like if I do something like that, I lose a little bit of that freedom, a little bit of that, ability to kind of do what I want, because I've got scheduled calls and things like that. So yeah, that's pretty much why I've decided not to do that. That was something in my mind. So I'm not 100% decided yet. Maybe someone will persuade me. All these kind of like business coaches and course coaches and things like that say, hey, you should you're leaving so much money on the table here, not doing this. And yeah, sure I am. Yeah, I know I am. I could probably make an extra £10,000 a month doing this stuff. Not just about the money. It's what I want to, what I enjoy. What will I enjoy doing it? And I do enjoy helping people. I do. It's just that once we start formalising it through that £3,000 payment, suddenly becomes quite a lot of pressure on me that I'm not sure I'm going to like. So it also opens you up to this stuff that I really hate, because we all know if you go onto TikTok, you go onto Instagram, you go onto all this stuff, and you search you get all these scammers on there that are saying, hey, you can make £1 million in 1 minute, or you can make £10,000 a month, or whatever this, they say, doing stock trading or Forex or crypto or drop shipping or whatever. It's all just some 18-year-old kid saying, hey, I made £100,000 this week. It's just such BS, bullshit, scamming stuff. And I kind of feel like if I charge for mentorship, or I charge for anything really, I'm kind of opening myself up to people calling me a scammer, and I hate that. I hate being called a scammer. I'm not a scammer, and that's kind of why I stopped doing paid, coaching calls, because if I just don't take any money from anyone, then there's no ammunition for anyone. So I know I shouldn't be bothered by the haters and stuff, but it just irks me. So I just don't know, I'm wired differently, and I just think I'm just gonna see how the free model goes. You guys obviously know I've got my community, it's all free, and it's always gonna be free. I thought about adding a paid thing on, and then I'm like, I don't know, it's tricky really. But I'll tell you the idea I had, and you guys can tell me what you think about it. I think I maybe already mentioned it before, because some things are gonna have to be paid if I wanna do them, but then I'm like, well, if they're gonna have to be paid, I won't do them. But if people want them, then maybe I will. And one of the ideas I had was, because people say to me, hey, we're struggling to find leads. So I thought, well, maybe I could hire, 3, 4, 5 virtual assistants, in the Philippines, train them up through my knowledge, and get them sourcing leads every day. And then what we could do is we could just put them into the community. Now, obviously, if I hire 5 virtual assistants, firstly, it's going to cost me £600 a pop. Okay, so there's £1,500 already. No, hang on, can't do the math, but yeah, what's 6 times 5? £3,000, sorry, God. That's £3,000 off the bat already, cost-wise. And then I'm paying, £1,500, £1,600, £1,700, I think. But it's like £300 per month, £330 a month per person. So yeah, it's about, what, £1,600, £1,700 per month in cost to me. Now, I can't afford to do that just willy-nilly. Yeah, we've got basically first month £4,500 that cost me. So to do that, I'd have to then say charge people for those leads. And the way that I was going to do it, if I decide to do it, is raffling them. So I'm not a fan of having leads that just get posted out to hundreds of people. What I'd say is that, let's say each VA finds 5 leads. We've got 5 VAs, so we get, say, 25 leads a day. What I'd do is basically say, well, how many SPM is there on there per listing? And for every, say, 50 SPM on that listing, we would allow one person to win that raffle. So if the listing sells 50 per month, we'd raffle it out to anyone who was paying, and there'd be like one winner on that one. And if it was 100 SPM, there'd be 2 winners. And if it was like 100, you get the idea anyway. So they're kind of going down that kind of route, and obviously you need to figure out exactly, or just maybe say every lead has 3 winners, something like that, basically 3 winners. So and then charging money for that. It'd be, I don't know how much it costs, I've got to say, I've not thought about the logistics of it all, maybe £30 a month. And then everyone who's in that is paying that, and this would be like a little add-on to FBA Moguls. Everyone who's kind of paying that money gets essentially auto-entered into the raffles. And, with that, basically, everyone gets a chance to win. I don't know how many they win every month, but we keep scaling it. If we've got enough members, we get some more virtual assistants and keep going, basically. So essentially what it would do, it'd be run as like a non-profit thing. It would be, hey, it costs me £1,500 a month to run this. I need to make £1,500 a month, realistically, to cover the expenses of my VAs, and obviously the hiring cost as well. And just doing that, basically. So, just running it as essentially a non-profit thing. And if I start making money out of it, let's say I start making £500 a month or whatever out of it, then I'll just hire another VA. We can keep scaling it nicely so that there's always enough that everyone's going to win maybe, I don't know, I've not done the math, like 4 or 5 leads a month. So you're not going to be getting rich off it, but you're going to be doing well. If I charge £30 a month, you're going to be maybe 10xing your money, something like that. So that was just a thought I had, and then I was like, well, do I want to charge people and run this thing? I don't know, but or maybe I'd find someone in the community who's good at FBA, and we could kind of run it together. Maybe I could pay them £500 per month to kind of run this and be in charge of the VAs. We obviously hire the VAs, so then let's say the VAs cost us £1,500 per month. The person who's running it for me, we pay them £500 a month to maybe just review the deals and just manage the VAs every day, like an hour a day or whatever at most. And so our cost is £2,000, and my goal is just to try and cover my costs for membership. So if let's say it's £20 a month, for example, I need 100 people essentially paying for that to run those 5 VAs. It's an idea, I don't know. So yeah, it's interesting anyway. I always said I was never going to provide leads, but I really like the raffle system. The raffle system works really well because the leads never get saturated. Yeah, they're because you only give them out to a certain number of people. Now there's another way you can do this as well, and that is you can have the VAs, and then you can just essentially, people buy maybe credits, and then they can just buy leads. So, and again, you only sell them to 3, 4, 5 people at most or whatever, again, depending on the SPM. So the VAs find the leads, they've got a bunch of leads, people can buy a bunch of credits, and then they can just buy the leads. Could be another way to do it as well. So they can go, hey, it's this brand, this is the profit, this is the chart, does it look good to you? If it does, hey, it costs £3 or something like that, I don't know. That's another way of doing it. I'd probably have to write some software for that though, to do that. So, but yeah, and then obviously, yeah, with the raffle one as well, it would be, there'll be a weighting system in there. So if someone hasn't won a lead in a while, then they get more chance to win. So to make sure that, it's fair, basically. But obviously in the long run, everyone kind of wins, but, on average. But yeah, just some ideas anyway to kind of enhance the FBA Moguls. Now, also guys, Anyway, this goes on to the whole thing of like taking money from people directly. It's a tricky one, really. I don't know. I like the free model, but there's obviously some things I can't do for free. Let's put it like that. So now, another thing, talking about things that cost money, I'm doing obviously you guys know, hopefully, you've got this MacBook giveaway that I'm doing. So 18th of December, so we're pretty much 1 month away now. I'll be drawing the winner for the MacBook Air giveaway. So make sure you enter that if you've not already. Link in description for that. That is £1,000 that cost me, and that'll be going to a lucky winner. We also are going to be pretty much hitting 1,000 members in FBA Moguls. And when we hit 1,000 members, I'm going to do another giveaway. So I also want to point out as well, none of the paid groups do these kind of giveaways. So, people... I think I'm quite generous, let's put it like that. I run a free group and I don't know a single paid group out there that's giving away anything even close to a MacBook. So I'm thinking, what should I give away for the 1,000 member sort of celebration? If you've got any ideas, let me know in the description. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do. I need to decide. It's going to sort of land around the sort of same time as the MacBook, I'd imagine. I think we're pretty much going to hit 1,000 by the end of the year. And then maybe in January I'll do some sort of giveaway. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. Friends have given me a few ideas. Not sure what yet. So, I'll just tell you what someone suggested. I'm not committing to anything yet, but they said, well, why don't you give away £1,000 in just cash? The other thing I thought about was maybe just double up the MacBook and say, hey, we're doing 2 MacBooks. I'm not sure yet. So it's an interesting one. It's a tricky one anyway. I'm not sure yet, because obviously I've just done the MacBook and it's kind of like fallen at the exact same time. And obviously that MacBook cost a lot of money. So I need to think. I'm not promising anything right now. I've done pretty well this year, but not so well that I can give away thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds. But obviously, as the group grows, I'm willing to kick back the money, kick back some good giveaways, I guess. So I don't know. It's an interesting one anyway. Let me know if you've got any ideas, what you think I should do, what I should give away. What giveaways you guys like to see in the group? I actually need to start maybe just doing more giveaways more frequently. So I did those thermal printer ones. They were quite fun to do, but I've kind of run out of those. I've given away 5 or 6 thermal printers. I need to think. Actually, it's a good idea. Actually, I might try and run like a monthly giveaway in FBA Moguls from now on. Yeah, I like the idea actually. So I need to think. It's whether you want to do would you rather have 12 smaller giveaways, or one sort of giant giveaway, like a MacBook? I need to think about. I think probably the smaller ones, a bit more exciting than the bigger ones. I don't know. It's an interesting one. That way more people can win. And obviously, if you win a MacBook, it's pretty sick, isn't it? So pretty awesome. Let's put it like that. Oh man, right guys, I am going to wrap that up. I know it was a bit haphazard and probably all over the place because I had that issue with the A1 and things like that. My thoughts have been kind of all over the place really today. Hopefully it's kind of been interesting for you, and I hope I've entertained you while you were doing whatever you're doing today. And I really do appreciate you guys watching. Please leave me a like, a comment. Let me know what you think I should give away. Obviously, if you're not subscribed already, do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.